This is Evenings with Sirine Demachkie.
Filling in for Renee Crosh on 702 ABC Radio Sydney, 666 ABC Radio Canberra and ABC Radio New South Wales.
Hello, yes, Sirine Demachkie with you, filling in for Renee Crosh this week, and I hope you're enjoying your Monday. As school holidays kick on, some of you may already be on an adventure somewhere out in this wonderful country of ours, or planning to head out camping, bushwalking, trekking somewhere. We've got some survival essentials lined up for you, things to consider when you're heading out, to the practical things to do when you maybe get caught in a pickle. Also this hour, how to spot and avoid ghost stores. Have you heard of them? Increasing now on social media. They look all pretty on the outside, but they are far from it. And they are, unfortunately, they're scamming Australians. So we'll find out what tactics they use and tell you which sites they are.
Evenings.
Australia has some of the harshest conditions on Earth, with a host of wildlife and plants that can be both friend and foe in time of need. Survival situations cannot be anticipated, they just happen. Whether or not you survive such a situation largely depends on the decisions you make in the first few hours. Your decisions can be easier if you had some training in what's known as bush survival. This is useful if you're camping with the family on school holidays, with friends over the long weekends, or deciding on time away by yourself. John Considine spent much of his free time as a child roaming Victorian subtropical rainforests by himself. Brave. This has led John to now work as a survival instructor for Bob Cooper Outback Survival. John, welcome to National Weekend Evenings.
Thank you very much for having me.
Roaming Victorian subtropical rainforests by yourself. I'm going to say that's because you've had survival training. Otherwise, I'd say, what are you doing?
Not at that age. I was six or seven.
Oh.
And that's how we rolled.
What? Wow. Holy moly.
Yeah,
it's just what you did. It
now.
is a different world.
Yeah.
I know. This conversation comes up, in circles with family and friends all the time that, and I'm thinking you probably might echo these sentiments, that we maybe put too many bubbles around young ones.
I think that's partly true.
Partly. To a certain extent.
Look, I think
but we
one of the things
them.
about survival... Sorry, go on.
No. By all means, you go ahead.
One of the things about being confronted with a survival event is that you have to know what that voice inside you is and how you're going to deal with it.
Mm.
And if you don't have that experience, if you don't know what it's like to be alone in the dark for a period of time and to know that it's going to be okay if you know what to do, then, yeah, it's very confronting.
Mm.
And we're discouraged from doing that now, generally.
What common mistakes do beginners make in the bush, and how can they avoid them, John?
Look, I think the classic that people are talking about a lot at the moment, particularly given the Carolina Wilga incident in Western Australia recently, is, do you stay with your vehicle or do you go? And there are circumstances in which either of those is the right decision. But the most important thing is having knowledge of your environment and knowledge of your own capacity to deal with it.
Yeah, fair enough. So that's one, knowing to stay with your vehicle or to leave. What are some others?
Well, the thing that comes up a lot is the importance of signalling in a survival event. And the most important signal that you can send is your intentions. So if you let someone know where you're going and how long you're going to be there and when you're going to make contact again, those things can save people a lot of time and angst. You just have to let someone know.
Yeah. Too many movies are made where, someone wants to go on a retreat on their own and they don't tell anyone because they just want to go off the grid. Yeah. Yeah. So what are top 3 survival priorities when stranded in the wilderness?
Look, generally there are 5 priorities.
Okay.
So you can choose the 3 that are most appropriate given the circumstances. But in Australia, water is almost always the top priority. Even a sedentary worker needs at least 3.7 litres a day just to maintain homeostasis, so to maintain the basic bodily functions. So water is really important in Australia. Shelter.
Yep.
Shelter will protect you from losing water. Fire, signalling, and then lastly, food.
Okay.
People think about food
first.
being the but no, you will go weeks and weeks without needing food.
But
And
not-
I've yet to find someone with credible evidence of anyone dying of starvation in a survival event in Australia.
Right.
People often bring up Burke and Wills, but they actually died of a condition called beriberi because they didn't cook the aquatic fern they were eating, which contained an enzyme that degraded their vitamin B in their bodies. So even Burke and Wills isn't an example of starvation. So food is almost always the lowest priority in Australia.
Wow, with water first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible. What about on the mental side of things? How do you mentally prepare yourself for high stress survival situations? So, say somebody, I just want to qualify this. So if you haven't done it before, if you've never done it before, is it recommended then that don't go alone if it's your first time?
Yeah, I'd say get some skills first, get some knowledge, and then go and give it a go. But have some backups. Make sure you've got communications and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And what about mentally preparing yourself?
About 80% of survival is actually believing that you will survive. If you give up, you've got very little chance. So, 80% is positive mental attitude, and the rest comes down to knowledge and skill and luck. But the only way to get that confidence and have that positive mental attitude is to know that you can do it.
Yeah. So that mental resilience is just as important, if not crucial, as the physical skill.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Because it's okay when things are going well. It's when they're not. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's when they stop going as well as you anticipate. So you put food on the bottom of the survival priority.
Yeah.
Is it better to ration food and water or consume normally?
Okay, so the underlying principle is that you keep your body and your mind in a state in which you can keep making good decisions about your survival.
Okay.
Now you can do that with no food for weeks. Yes, you'll be weak. You'll get dizzy when you stand up. You'll feel nauseous from time to time. You'll have irregular bowel movements, but that's not going to stop you from thinking clearly in the heat of the moment.
Okay.
Water, on the other hand, you should always drink the water you've got to keep making good decisions.
Right.
Drink at least 250 mils at a time. Monitor your hydration. There's a very, very easy way to do this, and I'm not sure how comfortable your audience will be with this, but you need to monitor the colour of your urine output.
Yeah.
And you can download and print urine colour charts online, and you can.
Right.
It's out there. Just get one, print it.
I mean, to be honest,
make sure that you know.
Well, to be honest, and I think it's I think it's perfectly normal. Is that's something I do like that's something I do generally, you know. I'm not saying I do it every single time, but it is something that I'm aware of and will kind of practice every now and again, especially when I sort of bring front of mind where I'm like, oh, I don't think I've had enough water today, and I'll kind of clock onto it. So, yeah.
Yep. That's that's a really easy way to tell.
So that's one thing, tick, that I've got survival skill ready on my part.
Oh, no
John.
doubt. Yeah, absolutely. That's it.
Gosh. Oh, dear. What about foraging? Obviously, when it comes to food, foraging for food.
Yeah.
Automatically, I would think that's something up front that comes into get some skills, get some training beforehand so that you know what to look out for and maybe things to stay away from. But then what about when you're out there and, sometimes we would make it's likely or it is possible to come across something that maybe is, I don't remember learning about this one.
Okay,
that's maybe a stay away from it then.
There's a process that you can go through to determine whether something is edible without knowing what it is.
Okay.
It involves taking a very small portion of it to start with, but to go through the entire process takes about 24 hours. So you've got to be very careful about what you choose. You want to choose something that's abundant in your environment. There's no point picking out, the last bulb or rhizome or berry or leaf or whatever it is in your environment of the season.
Okay.
And spending 24 hours working out whether it's worth eating when it's the last one. Fair enough. Pick something abundant, and then you go through a process of having a little bit, waiting to see if it causes a reaction in the mucus lining of your mouth, on your lips, on your tongue. Then you typically wait a few hours, see if a reaction occurs, then ultimately swallow a small portion, wait a little bit longer, make sure it doesn't come back and bite you.
Okay.
And that's,
right.
So there are, edibility tests that are published. I teach a modified version that's appropriate to Australian conditions. But the other thing about most foods is that they can be made more edible by cooking them.
Yeah, okay.
So if you have the means to make fire, you're much more likely to be able to find something that will sustain you. But on the foraging front, you would generally look for insects, larvae, small lizards, possibly small mammals if you can catch them, birds' eggs, and you would typically forage for these in the cool of the morning or evening. During the day in outback Australia, at least, you're doing nothing.
Yeah, okay.
You're just sheltering and staying calm.
Yeah. If you have just joined us, you're with me, Sirine Demachkie, on evenings on ABC Radio. I am with John Considine, survival instructor for Bob Cooper Outback Survival, and we're talking just about that, survival situations and how best to prepare, react, respond, also be proactive. Really keen in just a tick to get into, I suppose, navigation and getting a sense of bearings.
In a world on edge, where tensions flare, we'll take you across the globe to the heart of the matter.
We're just journalists covering this story.
Foreign Correspondent returns Tuesday, July 15 on ABC TV and ABC iView.
Evenings with Sirine Demachkie.
On 702 ABC Radio Sydney, 666 ABC Radio Canberra and ABC Radio New South Wales.
So, John, how can your shadow be a useful tool in the bush?
Well, if you can stand still for long enough, you'll be able to describe an arc that corresponds to the sun's movements across the sky, and you'll be able to work out where north is.
Okay.
I've got to say that in most...
I need a minute.
I'm not suggesting that you would actually stand still. You'd put a stick in the ground and then mark out the limit of the shadow throughout the day, and work out.
So this is the width,
Yes.
like how wide it is or how narrow it is?
How far away? Well,
No,
you
that's
end up with a parabola usually.
Okay. A
And
parabola.
and the point between the bottom of the curve and the bottom of the stick, if you draw a straight line,
Yep.
That in the southern hemisphere is going to send you north.
Oh, that's pretty
But
cool.
I've got to say, generally, navigation's not a massive priority in a survival event, certainly in outback Australia.
Okay. How come?
Mostly you're going to stay with your vehicle for the resources that it provides.
Right. Okay.
If you are moving away from your vehicle, it's because you know that there's somewhere that you can reach on foot.
Okay.
With the resources that you have, that gives you either more water, better sheltering opportunities, or critically better signalling opportunities. So if you can get to the coast, for example, you've got a better chance of signalling to attract the attention of a boat, which you might not be able to do from inland. But most of the time, you'll stay with your vehicle. It's not always the right thing to do. There is a classic case, again, here in Western Australia, where a guy left his vehicle on the Canning Stock route and walked 18 kilometres back to Well 6,
Okay.
Pierre Springs, which is nature's very own lap pool. So he had plenty of water. And, Phil Bland-Peet was found 28 days after running out of fuel on the Canning Stock route. So that, in my view, given what he knew, he made the right decision.
Right.
But in almost every other case that I've seen, the right decision is actually to stay with the vehicle.
Yeah. Okay.
The classic case that I teach on courses is that of Gabrielle Grossmuller, who, with her boyfriend, Karl Gertschke, in 1998, they went out to Lake Eyre for an overnight camp. They signalled their intentions. They left their intentions with someone who was supposed to be responsible. They got bogged. They decided to walk the nearly 70 k's back to the Udnadata track in December.
Oh,
like
man.
temperatures between 43 and 46.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle, she was found 3 days after leaving the vehicle, deceased. And her boyfriend, he returned to the vehicle after the first day, and he was found alive.
Wow. Okay.
So yes, almost always it's stay with the vehicle, provide signalling opportunities. So you've got mirrors to signal with. You can stick your bonnet up. That makes it much easier to see that you're in distress from the air.
Yeah.
You can collect water from your vehicle if you've got fuel, a functioning air conditioner, and some relative humidity. You can collect up to 300 mils of water an hour from your air conditioning condenser.
Right. Oh, how do you do that?
Stick a bucket under your under the condenser outlet hose.
Okay, all right.
So when you go to the supermarket and you see all these puddles of water on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Yes. That's what that is.
That's what that is. Okay.
So you can also make fire from your vehicle. So you can use spark or resistance from the batteries.
Yeah.
And there's a number of other ways that we teach using some very common chemicals.
Wow.
And
spark and resistance.
brake fluid and stuff. So
so there really are. Like you said, it's a very resourceful hub. So it makes sense that staying with your vehicle
and shelter too.
And shelter, sleep in the car.
Yes. Yes. So
which
that's those are important things.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if you were to leave your vehicle and navigate somewhere on foot, you would be doing that at night.
Oh.
because you're not going to do anything in the heat of the day in Australia, in the Australian outback generally.
Scary.
What? What are you concerned about, Sirine? What are you afraid of?
I'll ask you this then. This is what I'm afraid of. How do you stay safe around potentially dangerous animals in the bush, especially the ones that go bump in the night? That's what I'm afraid of, John, especially insects. I hate insects.
Why? They're delicious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely need to probably come to one of your
No, please do.
one of your outback survival classes. But no, look, yeah. All right. So let's ignore my hesitations and my worries. Best at night.
Yeah. So you're going to be using celestial navigation. And
I don't know
a lot of people
about that. Except for my daughter pointing out the Southern Cross the other night, and I still can't make it out.
Well, you're nearly there.
Oh, okay.
Southern Cross and the pointers.
Yep.
So you bisect the pointers, draw a line, and it's about 4.5 long axis lengths of the Southern Cross. Those two intersect. That is the South Celestial Pole. That's south.
Oh, okay.
Turn around and you're going north.
And you're going north. Yeah, there's your night. There's your night.
Yeah.
Your night compass, and then your day compass is your shadow with the sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now the animals.
Yeah.
How do you stay safe around potentially dangerous animals in the bush? Day or night?
Right. So really, we're really only talking about crocodiles. The other things will give you a nasty sting.
Snakes?
But they generally won't kill you. Well, snakes at night, they're not active.
They're active during the day.
Yeah, but you make enough noise, they will run a mile. They'll come
that's
nowhere
right. Is
near
this
you.
the stomping?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Is that
why holding a stick, like having a staff with you, is beneficial, or is that just a old wives' tale or something?
Well, I'm not aware of any influence of having a stick on the presence of snakes.
That's maybe for bushwalking.
Look, they can be useful. Lots of people walk with ski poles these days to save their knees.
Yes, true. And also to kind of, I don't know, just think with the bushes and kind of helping you through the way. See, I'm adding to your thingamajiggy.
Sure.
John, no, go on.
No, all advice gratefully considered.
Okay, so what I'm sensing is that animals, okay, but not necessarily something. So am I getting a sense that it really isn't, because that can be something that can be quite heightened in the mind, I reckon. Look, especially in the evening, maybe for a novice or for someone who, hasn't had any exposure. But really, I don't know, does it kind of fit in that whole food is your last priority, but, you would think it was the first kind of scenario when it comes to the animals?
I think there's really very little to fear.
Okay.
In terms of animals, certainly in terrestrial events in Australia.
Okay.
There are some nasties, some creepy crawlies, but mostly it's fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
I don't like jumping off big ships into dark water because I don't know what's there. I still do it sometimes, but
who would want to jump off a big ship in dark water?
Well, sometimes you're required to do it for certain certifications, but
okay. John, just a couple of things on the text line. And some of it I just don't know what it means. So I am literally reading words on a screen.
Yeah, sure.
I carry a 406 personal beacon always in caps lock. Once activated, S and R will have, that's search and rescue, will have your position within 5 meters. Within 5 meters within an hour. So this kind of goes back to what you were talking about, what we were talking about earlier in terms of, look, generally the best thing to do is to stay with the car. But I suppose in this instance, going back to what you're saying, like one of the big things is to, state your intentions, let people know if you're leaving.
Yeah.
But what's this text referring to?
Okay, personal locator beacons, or the maritime equivalent is EPIRBs.
Oh, that's what text number 2 says.
Or a sat phone.
Got it.
I personally prefer sat phones for remote travel, because you can actually, provided you're not medically incapacitated, you can call someone and have a conversation.
Okay.
Now, some of the others, like the spots and the inReach, they enable you to send text messages to people and to have programmed text message check-ins and that kind of thing. They're very useful. I would absolutely advocate them for people travelling with their family, travelling in groups. Make sure someone's got one.
Yeah.
And make sure that it's in a grab bag that's accessible if you have to abandon your vehicle in a hurry.
Okay. Why would you, is this because you've got some sort of animal that's coming after you that you're not?
No, it's because you've started a Spinifex fire.
You've started a what?
And you're a Spinifex fire. So if you're driving almost anywhere in Western Australian deserts, you're going to be very careful about what time of year you go. So it comes back to getting knowledge of the environment, and maybe talking to the station owners or managers that you intend to travel through, and find out what the Spinifex conditions are like. I've got some spectacular footage of an almost brand new, 6-figure Toyota and trailer going up in a magnificent blaze. Be prepared. It's cheesy as, but it's the old Scout motto: be prepared.
Yeah.
Make sure that everyone's got. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. Make sure everyone's got. Please finish your thoughts. Way more important than what I've got to say.
Make sure everyone's got their own grab bag. If their medications, some water. Make sure everyone's always dressed for the environment.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure they've got footwear on. For example.
Well, it is. Sometimes it's these simple things that really just escape the mind. What does Spinifex mean?
Oh, Spinifex is a plant. It's a small, tufty, grassy thing, and it's got needle-like points on it. The flowers can be ground to make make flour, a dough.
Okay.
And the roots you can get a resinous glue out of for fixing things. But so Spinifex, I think it's Triodium is the species. It's
highly flammable.
Especially if it's dry.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it goes right off.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Yes, have some kind of communications device so that you can call the cavalry if you need to.
Yeah.
But also to let people know that you're safe and that you've reached wherever it is that you said you were going to be, and can call them, so they don't call the cavalry. Make sure that everyone's got appropriately dressed for the environment. Don't walk away from your vehicle in the outback without 2 or 3 litres of water.
Yeah, there comes the water
example.
again. Yeah, for sure. Just some comments on the text line.
Yes.
I run a junior girl guide unit for 7 to 10-year-old girls, and I teach them lots of these skills as fun bushcraft games, shelter building, solar stills for water, fire making, signalling and direction finding. Solar stills for water, John.
Okay, so what you do is you dig a hole in the ground, you stick a bunch of green foliage in it usually, and then you put a plastic sheet over it, but you also put a billy or something in the centre of it, and a rock on top of the plastic sheet, so it forms like an inverted cone, and then all the water that evaporates from the plant material collects on the underside of the plastic sheet and then drains into the billy.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Now, there was some really, really cool work just trying to find this, done by a guy called Kavanagh. So you've heard of Major Les Hiddens, the bush tucker man?
Yes.
Yes.
As bush tucker man.
Yes.
Definitely not the other name, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. What's his name again? You repeat that for me, please?
Kavanagh.
Kavanagh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I suspect this isn't even published anymore, but I haven't. He did some fantastic research. So he and the bush tucker man were, so bush tucker man did food, Kavanagh did water. And he found that the sweat capital in building a solar still was generally prohibitive. You sweat, you lose too much water making it.
Right.
To actually get, you don't get enough back
so
to
the
compensate.
Yield, the yield or the cost, the benefit doesn't outweigh the
That's right.
So the cost benefit analysis is basically what he did. Right.
You're mostly better off with a big, heavy duty, clear polythene bag, and putting that over living foliage, and collecting the transpiration water from that.
Okay. All right. Great to hear.
That's a much more efficient
way of doing it.
Yes, it is. Yeah. But don't run out of water in the first place.
Oh, okay. And that goes back to planning if you can avoid it. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And Sharon sort of just reflects on, just on the text line, just a bit of a reflection of childhood. You have a point, Sirine. I grew up in the country and played with my friends and cousins on various farms my entire childhood. Can safely say I never saw a snake ever. Pretty sure it was because we were as loud as a herd of elephants. So
yeah.
So there you go. Look, I should most definitely let you go. I've taken up so much of your time. So just finally, before I let you go, John, and it's just been such a wonderful and enriching and really educational conversation with you, with laughs to boot. What's the most difficult survival situation you've ever encountered, and what did you learn from it?
Ooh. It's tough. There've been a few.
Okay. What comes to mind?
So I've done more mountaineering than the average Aussie, probably.
Okay.
And so I once had to down climb a mountain in New Zealand in a storm. Actually, with my co-instructor, Andrew, and we had to down climb about 600 vertical meters in a storm, and we couldn't do it roped, so we had to solo it.
Right,
which means so down climbing that, and then spending the next 3 days in a snow cave, snowblind, because we hadn't had the opportunity to put our glasses on, and taking it in shifts to make sure that we kept the ventilation up in the snow cave. That was challenging. That was good. Okay. Hello?
Yes. No, I'm here. I'm just processing what you're saying. No, I'm here. Wow. John, when did you say that was? How long ago was that?
Gosh, that would have been 2001, I think.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's something I actually didn't ask you that. Well, actually, you pretty much said it. You've been doing this ever since you were a kid.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, I started teaching survival in the early 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
For a different organisation, but
amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still and speaking to us but honestly, a wealth of knowledge and your expertise and that lived experience. It really comes through, and there's just like this perfect balance between the the theoretical / academic, but just that that real life experience is so priceless. And thank you for joining us tonight and, imparting it with us as well. And it's been just so much fun speaking with you as well, John. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed the chat.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. I
Thanks,
better
Sirine.
let you go. Have a lovely rest of the week. Thanks a lot, John.
Yeah, you too.
All
Thank you.
right. John Considine, survival instructor for Bob Cooper Outback Survival, with some timeless knowledge and tips there. But I think the takeaway is definitely prepare. We have our life hacks chat coming up next, and it has to do with ghost stores. Have you heard of them? I haven't since just recently, but definitely something to wrap your head around, or at least be aware of, especially how to spot them and how to avoid them. And I'll tell you what they are next.